Some places hold on to their dark pasts, where ghostly whispers and shadowy figures refuse to stay buried. Today, we uncover 5 of the most terrifying haunted locations in the USA, each with a chilling history that still haunts the present. Number 1. The Stanley Hotel, Estes Park, Colorado. The Stanley Hotel, opened in 1909 by Freeland Oscar Stanley, sits at the base of the Rocky Mountains, offering breathtaking views and a lavish escape from the everyday. However, the hotel's history took a dark turn when it became known for more than just its opulent architecture. It is widely recognized as the inspiration for Stephen King's novel, The Shining, written after King stayed at the hotel in 1974. His unsettling experience during his visit to the empty hotel, combined with the eerie atmosphere, became the foundation for the novel's supernatural elements. The tragic deaths and untold suffering associated with the hotel, including deaths from illness, accidents, and old age, have left a lingering spiritual energy. The solitude of the location, surrounded by dense forests and often filled with isolation, may have created a spiritual void, attracting paranormal activity. The mysterious deaths of former staff, especially housekeepers and guests, contribute to the sinister reputation. In 1995, the Denver Post published an article recounting numerous paranormal investigations conducted at the Stanley Hotel. Investigators reported EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, including disembodied voices, and witnessed flickering lights and shadowy figures that appeared and vanished without a trace. Police reports from the 1920s noted strange occurrences, including unexplained footsteps in the hallways and doors opening and closing on their own. Stephen King, who stayed in room 217 in 1974, famously shared his experience of having a terrifying night in the hotel. He described seeing demonic figures and hearing unsettling noises throughout the night. His experience led him to write The Shining, forever linking the Stanley Hotel with supernatural legend. Ghost hunters, including Zach Bagans from Ghost Adventures, have conducted investigations, and they too reported hearing children's laughter and seeing shadowy apparitions in the ballroom and corridors. Guests often report hearing children's laughter in empty rooms and the sound of a piano playing in the ballroom when no one is around. The ghost of F.O. Stanley has been seen roaming the lobby, his figure disappearing in photographs, only to reappear once the camera is turned off. Visitors in room 217 have described waking up to the sensation of cold hands on their shoulders, and one guest wrote, "I felt someone watching me from the corner, but when I turned, there was no one there." Number 2. The Queen Mary, Long Beach, California. The Queen Mary, launched in 1936, became a world-renowned ocean liner that served as a luxury cruise ship and a troop transport during World War II. After its military service, it was converted into a hotel in Long Beach, California. The ship's history is marred by the tragic deaths of crew members, passengers, and the countless lost souls that boarded during wartime. It is now permanently docked and serves as a hotel and tourist attraction, but its haunting past is far from forgotten. The ship's ghostly reputation is likely tied to its violent military past, the deaths of soldiers, and the misfortunes of its passengers. The ship became a vessel of death during World War II, and many sailors died aboard. The tragic drowning of a woman in the swimming pool, and the ghostly crew members that continue to appear, all contribute to its haunted legacy. In 1967, a local newspaper reported multiple incidents of paranormal activity, such as strange noises and flickering lights in the lower decks. In 1988, an investigation by the Long Beach Paranormal Society confirmed sightings of ghostly figures, including a shadowy figure near the engine room and cold spots near the ship's pool area. The Queen Mary has been investigated by several well-known paranormal teams, including Ghost Adventures. The show's host, Zach Bagans, documented his experience in the engine room, where he was physically touched by an unseen force and heard strange sounds. Several celebrity guests, including Rock Hudson and Rita Hayworth, have reported eerie encounters during their stays, including unexplained apparitions and ghostly whispers. Many guests report hearing clanking chains, footsteps, and the sound of shuffling in the ship's eerie corridors. One visitor shared, "I felt as if something was right behind me. I turned, but no one was there. Then, I heard a whisper saying, 'I'm still here.'" Number 3. The Villisca Axe Murder House, Villisca, Iowa. In 1912, 8 people, including 6 children, were brutally murdered with an axe while they slept. The crime remains unsolved, and the house located in Villisca, Iowa, has been a site of eerie phenomena ever since. The identities of the killer and the motive behind the murders have never been fully uncovered, leading to endless speculation and ghost stories surrounding the house. The unresolved murders, the violent deaths, and the tragedy of innocent lives lost have caused a lingering spiritual disturbance in the house. Visitors believe that the spirits of the murdered family members remain trapped in the house, unable to find peace. Newspaper reports from the time of the murders detail the gruesome crime and the mysterious circumstances surrounding the deaths. Several paranormal investigations in the following decades have uncovered unexplained noises and shadowy figures. One such report, from 2006, documented footsteps and scratching sounds coming from the children's rooms, long after the rooms had been vacated. The Villisca Axe Murder House has been investigated by prominent paranormal teams, including Ghost Adventures. Investigators reported seeing shadowy figures moving in and out of rooms and faint voices of children playing. One investigator stated, "As I stood in the corner, I felt a presence behind me, an almost childlike energy that was both inviting and terrifying." Guests often report hearing children's laughter, screams, and the rustling of sheets, as though the murder victims are still alive. One visitor described hearing the sound of the axe before feeling an invisible force pressing down on their chest, forcing them to leave the room in a panic. The house remains a chilling reminder of a gruesome past that refuses to stay buried. Number 4. The Bell Witch Cave, Adams, Tennessee. The Bell Witch Cave is the site of one of the most famous hauntings in American history, where the Bell family was terrorized by an unseen entity in the early 1800s. The spirit, known as the Bell Witch, made the family's life a living nightmare, manifesting as a poltergeist, capable of mimicking voices, moving objects, and even attacking the family physically. The Bell Witch is believed to have been a malevolent spirit born from the Bell family's own dealings with the supernatural. The curse placed upon the family, particularly John Bell, who was reportedly poisoned by the spirit, caused the haunting to escalate into something far darker and more violent. Newspaper reports from the 1820s in Tennessee describe bizarre occurrences at the Bell family home, such as unexplained sounds and disembodied voices. There were also numerous accounts of physical attacks, including scratches and bruises appearing on family members. Andrew Jackson, the future president of the United States, visited the Bell family home in the 1820s and had his own terrifying experience. He claimed that when he approached the house, his wagon was inexplicably stopped by an unseen force. Jackson reported hearing strange noises and was so terrified that he left immediately, stating, "I would rather face the enemy than that witch." Today, visitors to the cave report hearing footsteps echoing behind them, whispers from unseen entities, and an overwhelming sense of dread. Paranormal investigators often describe shadowy figures and unseen forces pushing them deeper into the cave. One investigator shared, "I felt as though the walls were closing in on me. It was as if the spirit was trying to draw me into its lair." Number 5. The Lemp Mansion, St. Louis, Missouri. The Lemp Mansion was home to the wealthy Lemp family, who made their fortune in the brewing industry. However, the family's tragic decline was marked by multiple suicides and financial ruin, especially after the passing of William Lemp, the patriarch. The mansion, built in 1868, became infamous after several of the family members ended their lives within its walls, and the house was later converted into a restaurant. The Lemp Mansion is haunted due to the tragic deaths that occurred within it, particularly the suicides of William Lemp, his son Charles, and other family members. The mansion's dark energy seems to be trapped by the family's emotional scars, making it a hotbed for paranormal activity. Newspaper reports from the 1920s mention the odd occurrences that plagued the Lemp family, including strange noises and unexplained disturbances in the mansion. Police records from the 1930s and 40s describe mysterious sounds emanating from the mansion's interior, often reported by employees working late. Visitors often hear footsteps echoing in empty rooms, and many have encountered the ghost of William Lemp, seen walking through the hallways, his face filled with anguish. Others report hearing the sound of muffled voices, disembodied whispers, and the feeling of being watched at all times. Some claim to see shadowy figures moving in and out of the rooms, and the infamous Lemp family portraits seem to follow you wherever you go. Have you ever visited one of these eerie locations? Or do you dare to explore them in the future? Share your experiences with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on more spine-chilling stories.